how I get that out of there. There we go. We're just gonna have to do it like that. I don't want my face in there, but it's gonna keep popping up. Oh, there we go. That's how we get that off. We just had to turn that around. Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, the gold standard here as we get that all set up on this live drive time radio show. A little bit late getting started at 6:45 a.m. here on February the 4th, 2026. Morning. We can see the charts are, the Bitcoin price was up about 0.5%, $66. DGB is under 2% in the shithouse. AMP is in the shithouse also, is down 1.863%. XRP is even on the day. There's been a lot of short volatility the last couple of days where we've had a little bit rallies, 3 to 5%, and then they just give it all back. But yesterday was an extremely bearish day across the cryptocurrency sphere on February the 3rd. Yesterday, the Bitcoin was down at one point in the mid-afternoon, about 5%. And we were warning of that on the Monday's radio show, that after the harsh sell-off on Friday and through the weekend, there could be a small bounce back, and you did have a small bounce back Monday, and it's had a harsh sell-off going into the middle of the week now on a hump day. Algo was even slightly down on the day, and I think it's going to be a highly volatile day across the cryptocurrency sphere today on February the 4th. Kind of what we've been talking about all week on the Market Open on the Drive Time live radio show. And remember, check me out, Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing on Facebook, the #1 retail trading and investing platform on Facebook. It's growing. It's going to be the #1 gold standard of pages for crypto and stock information for the retail traders. Check that out. If we look at the next image we have here, we'll look at some more coins. You can see Algo has been getting crushed over the last year. Algo is down about 90%, I believe, from its blow off top that it blew up to about 1 year ago. Today, LCX has collapsed like we thought. H-bar is on a deep decline. All of these coins are getting hammered right now. They're down 60, 70%, and a lot of these altcoins 80% from their peak last year, which were still, most of them, well off their all-time highs from the euphoric single biggest crypto rally in history to date during the COVID-induced pump. You can see the gold bullion and the silver bullion have had a nice bounce back Monday after they were down big Sunday night. They bounced back Monday. They retraced a little bit intraday on Tuesday. They've made all those gains back and some this morning. And what we're going to watch in the silver and gold bullion market today is there going to be where this keeps trickling up, and after it had a big dump, it's taking the steps back up, and then after it gets 50 to 75% of that initial drop, do we have an even bigger drop, taking out that most recent low and driving the silver bullion price potentially back down to $58 and driving the gold bullion price potentially back down to around $3,800 or $3,900. That's something that the gold standard is watching. That's something that I am paying attention for, and that's something in the short term is very, very critical, as there's going to be a lot of money in a short period of time be lost and be made there in the bullion market, and more importantly, the mining sector. As we take a look scrolling across here, we got some of the gold stocks here that were up. They were down big after being up big, where they gave back about 20-25% in a day and a half. They've had a good rally. Pan America Silver yesterday and Monday has made back some gains. Kinross Gold is back up to $34. It was at $39. Hecla Mining is back to $24, still about $10 off. It was up to about $32.5. So we're going to pay attention to that. And this is something that we're watching on the technical sides from the gold standard. And this is Hecla Mining, but we're going to take a look at a couple of these other ones in the crypto. And whether it's Hecla or crypto, it's all the same. You can see we have this massive pump where it went from essentially $5 a share all the way up to $34 a share. And you can see the volume is stagnated sideways And in the monthly volume, it's starting to go down, and even the mean of the volume is starting to go down after the first initial big candlestick down. So that's what we're going to watch here, because we're going to show you a bullish divergence in one of these right here in a minute, or a bearish divergence, a hidden bearish divergence. You can see here's the silver chart. We had the big massive run up where we went from about $30 a share, $30 an ounce, more precise, in silver. In about 4 months, we pumped up to $125 an ounce, right? And you can see the volume is drastically in the last couple of days come down. And here's a hidden bearish divergence right here. You can see the volume at the bottom, the green arrow. You can see the first peak back there. The peak back there. Hold on. The first peak back there back in November in the fall. You can see we had a price pump up and a consolidation with the max peak in volume and the max peak in the mean of the volume, which is the orange smaller line running through the volume chart at the bottom. But look at the green arrow. You're much lower on this return rally, and you've had a massive pump to the upside in the gold bullion price, right? We're looking at gold bullion, a gold ounce, right, per ounce. And you can see you got a massive run up in price from about $3,200 to $5,600 as the volume in the weekly, as in the daily, has drastically declined, signaling potentially a short-term top. And that is a bearish hidden divergence where you have a new high in price by a lot, but you have a significantly lower low in volume on the next pump up, right? That's telling you that you're silently being exhausted with the momentum, and there could be some downside risk coming, and that's why they call it a hidden bearish divergence, right? And when I seen that on the gold chart, I wanted to point that out to you, and that's leading me to believe here at the Gold Standard that we are, while, hello, bro, you are broke. Okay, I'm not broke, but I actually got pretty good money right now. But hello to you. I'm not sure if you're saying I'm broke, but I thought that was very important to share with you guys on what a hidden bearish divergence actually looks like in a live chart. Very easy to see in a classic case here. So we're going to see what happens here. Does the volume spike now in the next month or two and actually continue up? Or does the volume continue down here? And this is going to be confirmed, and we're going to have a short to medium term continued reversal in the gold and silver bullion price, right? After the last 24 months has been the biggest pump in silver and gold bullion in history, at taking out the 1980s and the 2011 blow off tops, right? You can see the commodity sector, the platinum and the palladium are on the move again today. They took a big loss the last couple of trading days leading into Monday, where they started a rally. The US dollar is trying to rebound after they didn't raise rates, right? So it's trying to be bullish on that side of the sphere. So we're going to continue to watch what's going on, and then we round it out here looking at the stock market. The Dow Jones and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, they've shook off for the most part. They didn't make new highs, but they didn't continue to sell off yet, and that's something that's going to be very interesting over the next several days to several months, between now and when they throw Jerome Powell out the door for trying to pretend that he cares about sound money and bring in this new shellacking that's got a facade saying that he's going to be a hard money, solid dollar, pro-dollar Fed chair, while printing money and lowering rates with a bad economy and inflation that's too high. It's not possible. It's a lie. So that's where the next legs of these bull markets, I think, in the commodities are really going to get going. But I could see an additional 20 to 30% sell-off across the board in the hard metals themselves: copper, gold, silver, palladium, platinum, all those kind of base metals. And then I could see the mining sector taking a big hit, just as I think we're about to be close to capitulation in the crypto in the next month to 3 months. And then I think we start digging out of crypto winter and start going into crypto spring. And that crypto spring and the The dead of crypto winter as you capitulate is when you really want to start accumulating. And all through crypto spring, you want to accumulate, but late crypto spring, you want to stop accumulating as you go into early crypto summer and you start that massive euphoric pump. And that's when you ride the pump. That's when you watch them gains rise. That's when you watch the portfolio multiply itself. And at a strategic time when it feels too good to be true and everyone now starts talking about it and the stuff you own has become the mainstream when it used to be the shit house and nobody talked about it. That's when you start exiting your positions. When co-workers start asking you, look at this gorgeous sunrise today with a orange sky. I should almost be taking a picture of that. It's actually really nice with some clouds in the background. But that's when you start to sell, when everybody starts talking about it around you at whatever place of business you go to or establishments you frequent. Say your gas station guy you see, your liquor store establishment, your grocery store, or wherever you go, and they start talking about it, that is usually the time you want to exit those positions, right? Stick with the gold standard. We'll continue to give you live market analysis throughout this bear market in crypto and throughout this correction in the gold and silver bullion, as the gold standard was heavily telling you to invest, even though I'm not a financial advisor and I would never tell you to buy, sell, trade, anything. I was just telling you and sharing my information and knowledge and what I was doing to become an asset millionaire. And I'm going to share what I believe is going on in the gold and silver bullion market. Stick with the gold standard. I got to get back in today, however many days it is since December 29th of 7 tons every day without missing a day. Peace and love.